Liverpool are just unbeatable. 5 wins out of 5 in the Premier League. 6 wins if we count Atletico Madrid. We are motoring a perfect start to the season, but it was a nervy game. The second half should not have been as nervy and scrappy as it was. We're going to talk about why that actually happened. We're also going to discuss certain players. Gravenberch, Ekitike, Wirtz, Conor Bradley, and I will give my man of the match at the end of the video. If you're new here, I am Lawrence on Liverpool, a brand new Liverpool fan channel, and the only way I'm going to grow is with your support. So get involved and leave me comments below. Talking point number 1, is Gravenberch the best midfielder in the world? I mean, go back to the first game of last season, we had no idea he'd become the best number 6 in the Premier League and perhaps the world. But then he's also scored 2 goals in the last few matches, creating an assist, and is lethal when he does get into those rare attacking spots right at the top of the field. We know he was an attacking player before Slot turned him into a number 6, into a defensive midfielder. So he's incredibly versatile. What must Bayern Munich be thinking? They've let an absolute gem slip through their fingers, because if Florian Wirtz is worth 116, Isak's worth 130, Gravenberch is worth over 100 for sure, over 100 million, and we got him for relatively cheap. And we've converted him into the best number 6 in the world, potentially the best midfielder in the world. Let me know if you disagree, if you think there are better number 6s or better midfielders. But if you do, the list has got to be very small, because Gravenberch is so influential on the pitch. He is defensively very, very sound, knows how to help the back four. But then he's got silky skills and the control and the twists and the turn of someone like a Genie Wijnaldum. But then he can get in front and score goals and assists like he's an attacking midfielder or number 10. The player is sublime, and he was the standout player in a dominant first half. And talking point number 2, Hugo Ekitike is up for the fight. He didn't start the game against Atletico Madrid, where Isak are barely fit. Isak, I mean, he's fit, but he's not match fit, you know? And that was a very big surprise to see Isak start the game against Atletico Madrid. And I wonder how Hugo Ekitike felt. An important Champions League game, and I've been dropped to the bench. Clearly there's a pecking order, and Isak's ahead of me, which you would assume the price tags suggest so. Isak scoring 20 plus goals in the Premier League beforehand suggests so. But still, for Hugo Ekitike, that was a real sign. How has he responded now that he's been brought back into the team? Because Slot didn't want to risk starting Isak 2 games in a row just a few days apart. Ekitike showed he's got fight in him. He's a very polite boy when he's doing interviews, but my goodness, he did not want to sit down and just take it. He's not the main man in attack, and he seems to be very good at removing drama and just focusing on football. He missed a glaringly open goal against Atletico Madrid, and I said in my last video, oh, I hope that doesn't haunt him. It did not. He was very accurate and clinical when he had his one chance, scored the goal. Thankfully, we're 2-0 up, and it looks like we're sailing, and that's all thanks to Gravenberch and Ekitike. What could go wrong? Well, what went wrong is a half-time chat from Moyes to his team, where he said, make the midfield scrappy, make it a dogfight, make it messy. We can't allow Liverpool to be in their rhythm. We're going to talk about why Liverpool were in their rhythm a little bit later. But talking point number 3 is Liverpool are too passive when they're in the lead. They're brimming with confidence, clearly, and they deserve to be full of confidence, almost an arrogance and a swagger, which you want from champions who are assuming they will retain the league because there's so much confidence within them. That's how dynasties are made. That's how legends are made. That's how dominance takes over, is when you just believe you can't lose. And Liverpool have that in buckets at the moment. The problem that comes with it is when you get a healthy 2-goal lead, you stop chasing the game. And Liverpool did that. They just, I wouldn't say they sat back, but they just became lackluster. You know, 10% off the accuracy in the passing, 10% off the speed of movement. It just all became a little bit too passive and too reserved. Like, we'll just see the rest of the game out. The problem with that is, if your opponent isn't playing ball, if they're not agreeing with you that they're going to see it out and just concede to 2-0, and they find a bit of fight within them, now you're caught unawares. You're a little bit cold. And so Everton got back in the game. And now we're 2-1, and now it becomes nervy. What I loved seeing, though, is that the possession stats for the next 20 minutes after that were 65% possession for Liverpool. We took control of the game again. Doesn't mean it wasn't nervy for the rest of the match. Anything can happen. Even in the last 9 seconds, Van Dijk played a back pass to Alisson, which was miscued, and Alisson had to kick out for a throw-in. An unnecessary opportunity handed over to Everton. These things happen in football matches. That's why you don't want to give a goal away unnecessarily. A quick note on that before we move on to talking point number 4 is I miss Hendo. Jordan Henderson, very underappreciated player during his time. In a game like this, even at 2-0 up, Jordan Henderson would be barking orders to his teammate. He'd be shouting and screaming to keep his team on their toes. He would not let standards drop whatsoever. Steven Gerrard, similarly, before that. And whilst Van Dijk is a great leader, he doesn't insist vocally every second of the game that everyone is switched on to high alert. And this may be one of the reasons why we become a bit passive. Maybe it's also part of the strategy that Slot lays out. Either way, it means that we keep letting teams back into their game, as we've done multiple times so far this season. We need to cut that out because eventually it will come back and bite us on the behind. Talking point number 4, and we were talking a little bit earlier about that free-flowing attacking movement in the first half, at least in the first half hour. Is it because Wirtz wasn't playing? Now, I said I think Wirtz has an incredible amount of talent. I have no doubt he will come good. He needs to adapt to the Premier League. He needs to adapt to his Liverpool teammates. Right now, he is definitely off the pace. Everything is just a little bit too slow. His thinking process is a bit too slow. His touches, his passes, everything's a little bit behind the game. Now, Slot said that he didn't play Wirtz because there's too many games in a row. Szoboszlai has played all 3, but then Szoboszlai is incredibly fit. So maybe there is some truth in that. But I also feel that in a game where a derby, which is always tricky, and Everton always put up a fight, maybe you don't play someone who could let the game go by. That sounds very harsh because actually Wirtz was much improved during a 20-30 minute spell against Atletico Madrid, and he's getting better and better, but he's still just not there yet. And that was evident in one moment where he was played through by Salah. A nice touch sent one Everton defender the wrong way, but then he was too slow to pull the trigger and take a shot before another Everton defender was able to sneak in and get a recovery. He just needs to speed up. But when he does, I think he'll be excellent. And my 5th and final talking point was how Conor Bradley pocketed Grealish. There were 1 or 2 little moments where Grealish got the better of Conor Bradley. For the most part, though, young Conor had Grealish in his sights, in his pocket, and out of the game. He controlled Grealish as well as I can imagine he would. I think it's a good choice to pick him over Frimpong because pace wasn't necessarily the key attribute needed against Grealish. The main thing was sticking to your man like glue, hustle, having a bit of the dog in you. And Conor definitely has that. Worked out great for him. I think he's done his confidence a world of good there. And was a key contributing factor to why Everton were not able to build upon their 1 goal in the second half, because Conor Bradley shuts down their main creative playmaker in Grealish. Very good performance. Man of the match, I'm tied. I'm tied between Gravenberch and Conor Bradley, and I'm really not sure which one to pick. I think Gravenberch was excellent in setting up the goal and scoring his own. I think he was also very, very tidy in a dominant first half from Liverpool. In the second half, though, it did get scrappy, and Gravenberch's superiority didn't shine through in that midfield battle. It allowed Everton to come back in too much. Whereas Conor Bradley, I think, was consistently on Grealish the whole match and shutting down that right-hand flank and did an excellent job. I'm going to give Conor Bradley my man in the match. Let me know if you agree in the comments below. If you don't, it's fine. Just tell me who you would pick. And I will speak to you again very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.